guys, happy weekend. I haven't done an intro in a little while, so just in case you are new here, my name's Ike and I share a lot of content around living and working here in Sydney. And this year I've been really enjoying sharing more and more vlog style content on my channel. And so would you believe I picked up another vlogging camera? This is the Canon Powershot V10. I just think it is the cutest little camera. I have so many cameras and admittedly many I don't even use, so I did not need another vlogging camera. But I decided to pick this one up just because I love how tiny it is. It literally fits in the palm of my hand. And so I think this would be so perfect for me as a shy vlogger. I love challenging myself to vlog in public, but as soon as I pull out a camera, I suddenly get imposter syndrome. Who does she think she is? I'm not generally a shy person, but I'm definitely a shy vlogger. And so I want to use the most discreet but convenient camera. So in today's vlog, I wanted to share a day in my life and really test out and play with this camera and then share some of my initial first impressions. Surprisingly, while I have seen some reviews, I haven't seen that many vlogs with this camera, even though it's been out for quite a while. I think it was released about a year or a year and a half ago. Canon re-released this camera in this white color. It's currently an Asia exclusive, so I purchased mine online from Japan. And if you're anything like me and care about aesthetics and love white cameras, then this may be quite appealing to you. I've heard so many mixed reviews about this camera, mostly negative, some positive. So if you asked me a year ago, I would have never picked up this camera just because I was always on the lookout for the perfect camera setup. But after vlogging for about 2 years and trying to grow here on YouTube, I've become actually less precious about camera quality and more interested in trying to get better at telling stories. And I think to do that, I just have to vlog more. And so I'm hoping this tiny little camera will take away some of that friction and resistance. And while I love the current filming setup that I'm recording this video on, I just can't see myself vlogging with this camera in public yet. And so I thought it would be fun to vlog today and test out this camera, talk about some of the features and share my thoughts as to whether I think this is an ideal vlogging camera, especially for shy vloggers. So I'm going to swap out the camera and we will be filming on the Canon Powershot V10. I've just switched over to the Canon vlogging camera, so let's get on with our day. It is currently the weekend and I've got a few life admin things to do. I've got to run a few errands, but the first thing I have to deal with is my desk. I was editing this morning and I just realized my desk has become a dumping ground for all of my electronics and I just need to organize it a little bit better. Please don't judge me. This is my current desk. There is just stuff everywhere and I think it's because it's near my front door, so whenever I walk through the door I just pop everything on there and it has just accumulated its own ecosystem. So I want to go into KMART today and pick up a couple of things for my desk. For my friends that don't live in Australia, KMART is kind of like our version of like Target or Walmart in America. You can find so many affordable homeware, beauty items, even fashion and accessories. You can find almost anything in KMART and it is so affordable. Some of the quality is a bit hit and miss, but for the most part, Aussies just love KMART and I wouldn't be surprised if we all had a toaster or a kettle from this. And I've saved a couple of things on my wish list, so let's head out and pick up a few things to help organize my messy desk. Oh my gosh guys, check out this cast iron casserole pot. Only $25. If I bought like a La Cruz, is that what it's called? That would easily be a couple of $100. I think I'm gonna grab this. If you're ever moving to Australia and you need cheap homeware stuff, come to KMART first. You can pretty much stock your whole house with just KMART stuff and the stuff is pretty decent. I got distracted in the kitchenware section, but let's go and find the stationery home office section. Oh, I found what I was looking for. It's the computer monitor wavy stand. I think that's gonna look so cute on my desk. For book lovers, KMART also has a really good book section. I just finished The Housemaid and this was a really good thriller read. It was really fast paced. I finished it in like 2 days. I highly recommend this one. Alright, let's keep going. KMART also has a really good selection of candles, and best of all, after you use the candle, you can use this as like a vase or a little display jar. Lots of cute candles and so much cheaper than IKEA as well. Like this one here would look so cute after it's been burnt. I recently picked up this mirror, but I didn't realize it also comes in white. They're just so cute, and now I'm contemplating getting a second mirror. Also, these are my favorite makeup brushes. They're so affordable and so soft. Makeup brushes is one of those things I will not spend money on anymore because these are just so good. And they have the dual-ended makeup brushes. I've just come across these hand sanitizers that have been sold out everywhere at almost every Kmart in Australia. I don't know, they've just become so popular. I am definitely gonna grab a couple of these. I am back home now, so I thought it would be fun to do a little grocery haul. You would have seen me trying to vlog in the supermarket. The hardest thing wasn't actually pulling out the camera. The hardest thing was trying to find a moment to put down the camera and vlog without trying to disturb other people's shop. But silly me, it is Saturday and it's probably the busiest day to go to the shopping center and the supermarket. But I thought it would be fun to share a little quick grocery haul because you guys seem to enjoy that last time I shared it in my vlog. I won't go through everything that I brought, but maybe just a few bits and pieces. Let me just move you guys there. Oh my goodness, this is my favorite thing, and I can tell when the seasons start to change when the cotton candy grapes come out. This is so delicious. It tastes exactly like cotton candy. It is the sweetest, juiciest grapes. And it's a great alternative for something sweet. So when I usually have this in the fridge, I try not to reach for sweets as much. But currently it is cotton candy grape season here in Australia. I am also a sucker for food packaging, and I think this is just so pretty, but so delicious as well. Also, I have some coffee pods. I like trying new varieties of coffee pods, and this one is from an Australian brand called Daly Street, and they also fit the Nespresso machine. I always go for the most intense number capsule I can find. So if that's 10 or up, but these ones are 13, so this will definitely be giving me a buzz. A couple of things I picked up. I feel like a traitor to my Asian heritage, but I do from time to time get rice that we can just heat up. It's just so much easier after a busy day to just heat up a packet of rice, and I think it tastes just as good. Coles recently released these coconut rice packs, and I haven't seen these before. So I definitely want to try that out. Something that we always have in the fridge is some green juice. I find that this is a great way to add a bit of fiber in my diet, especially when I don't remember to always eat my greens. Having some green juice is just a quick way to get those daily green vitamins and minerals. Sorry, the camera just overheated and died. That's another thing about this camera. It overheats really easily. I was trying to charge it and record at the same time, but clearly it just couldn't handle that, so it just shut off. I am going to pack away the groceries and then sit down and chat about the camera. But before I do, I just wanted to show you how I have this mounted currently. It's on a little tripod because it does have a little screw at the bottom where you can mount this to a tripod, and then it gives a bit of height, which is really great because I find that if the camera is just flat on the ground, it's always looking up, and sometimes that's not the most flattering angle. Just having some green juice because I was literally at Kmart for 2 hours. What do we think of the new desk? I love the little shelf. It just helps to keep everything so tidy now, and my desk just looks less like a front door dumping ground, which is pretty much what it was for the last couple of weeks. I have just been adding everything on there as soon as I walk through the door. I can't wait to start editing on this little table now. I just think it's so cute. Let me give you a mini desk tour because it has been some time since I have set up my desk, and just to share a couple of new things. The mirror is from KMART. I just love the lilac pink of this mirror. The little lamp is also from KMART. It's not charged at the moment, but it's one of those USB-C chargers, and I can just move this around everywhere, and it gets rid of the cord for the lamp. And then moving on is my phone. I recently picked up this new case by a brand called Louvre, and it has the little pearl wristlet. I just think it looks so stylish, and I like this because I can detach this, but I also love this as an accessory as well. The little table, of course, from KMART. I keep some of my little knickknacks for vlogging here. So I have this little DJI microphone mini. I haven't used this much yet. I still keep reaching for the original microphone because I think that is small enough, but this is also a great option if I'm looking for something more discreet. Then I have a couple of my hard drives under there, and then my AirPods. I don't leave the house without my AirPods. I usually carry 2 pairs with me just in case. And then I have my Kindle. I unboxed this a couple of weeks ago, and I have been loving the Kindle. It has completely changed my reading habits. I just love how light it is, and this whole green matcha pink combination is just so pretty. So if you've been wondering whether you should pick up a Kindle, I highly recommend it. It has been such a good investment for me. And then moving on, I've also got another little lamp by a brand called Matt and Nat. I believe they're like an Australian brand, and they do a lot of homeware and glasses. So I picked this up. I just love the pink. And then this little ceramic jar I made during a hen's party for my sister-in-law. So I've just kept it here and put all my Muji pens. And then this here is the candle that I picked up today, and I can already smell the fresh cucumber. I'm not quite sure what yuzu smells like, but this smells delicious. So that is my little updated desk tour. This camera is overheating and it's gonna die. Happy Friday and happy start of the weekend. We literally just shut our laptops off at about 5:30 and raced down here before the sun started to set. Today is the official last few days of summer here in Australia, and so we wanted to make the most of it. It was a glorious 30 degrees today, and I was stuck at home all day, and I was like, no, we are going to the beach no matter what. So we're here at our local beach, Cronulla. Let's have a chat about this camera and some of my initial first impressions. In terms of the design of the camera, I do really like it. It's very, very small and quite lightweight. It's smaller than my iPhone. In terms of weight size, it's pretty much the same as my iPhone 13, although this is slightly a bit more weightier, but I can't imagine by very much. So I do like it for the fact that it is a really tiny camera. It's pretty discreet. When I'm holding it, I feel like I'm just holding my phone. In terms of the image quality, for the size of the camera, it's pretty good. I do like the color and the brightness that the camera gives, and I like how easy it is to be able to adjust the brightness as well. So on the screen, I'm not sure if you can tell, but if I just tap there, I can just easily adjust the brightness as the camera screen is on and just before I'm recording, so I do like it. I did have a chance to look at the footage as well as test this out, and overall the colors were really good. But in terms of the image quality overall, the autofocus on this was really struggling. It does quite well in lots of light, but it doesn't do as well in low light. It is definitely not as crisp as my iPhone or as my main camera, but it's also not the worst camera either. It does okay for the purposes of vlogging, but if you are looking for that really, really crispy, clear image quality, then this probably isn't it. If it's just a vlog and shoot type scenario, then I think this one does quite okay. I've heard so many mixed reviews about this camera, mainly when it comes to the image stabilization, and truthfully, it is not amazing. It is quite shaky. Sometimes I actually forget how busy it is on the weekend. I have to make a note to myself to come during the weekdays instead. It's so busy. I feel so lost right now. You know that feeling when you go to another shopping center that's not yours and you don't quite know where everything is? That's how I feel about being in this IKEA. It's not my usual IKEA, so I am completely feeling lost at the moment. Especially when I have it in auto mode, which is one of the shooting modes. I can change it into image stabilization, but that does crop the image in. Not too much, but definitely does crop it in. But even with image stabilization, it is still quite shaky. It's not really ideal for long periods of walking and talking. I definitely think the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is far more superior because that has a built-in gimbal, and even the iPhone is a bit more steady. This definitely does not compete with any of them for that. Where this shines is usually where it is on a tabletop using the built-in tripod, and that's usually when the quality is at its best. This might be controversial, but I actually don't mind a bit of shakiness in vlogs. I kind of feel like it has that nostalgic 90s feel, back in the days when people used to record on camcorders and there was a bit of that sort of shakiness. I kind of like it for that, but I probably wouldn't use this for long periods of time. If I do have to walk and talk, I would probably use this and find a quiet place to just plonk the camera and just talk to camera. In terms of first impressions about the audio quality, I had this on auto for most of the day. The two microphones on the top here are pretty good. It's good and bad because it picks up everything, even like background noise and wind noise. These ones are really good because they don't take a lot of room in my closet, and these thin ones here are also really good because I can just hang my pants on there and double up for a couple of skirts as well. I did pick up some of these furry windshields for the Canon Powershot V10, but I don't think I'll be using them just because to apply them you need to add like the sticky magnetic, and then this just kind of comes on and off. But design wise it's kind of silly because once you put the wind muff on you can't really see the screen, so I think that's just a trade-off I'll have to live with. Honestly, the design for those wind muffs have not been thought out very well, but other than not being able to drown out noise, I thought the audio quality was pretty decent. I wanted to jump back on. I am still editing this vlog. I just haven't had a chance to get it up because life is lifing at the moment. But I just wanted to share, in terms of the audio, I can actually attach an external microphone onto this. So I I'm using the DJI Mic 2. It is a little awkward to attach onto the actual camera. There's nowhere to put it, but I did find a tripod with a cold shoe mount. Is it a hot shoe or cold shoe? A mount that I can put it on. So it does sit on the side. It's a little bit awkward, but it is possible, and it does help to drown out some of that background noise that the microphone on the actual camera can't do. So it is an option. In terms of the actual design and screen, I thought even though the screen is quite small, it is decent and it is a touch screen, which is useful. But the little icons on the screen as I'm using it, they are so small. So to be able to like adjust brightness or go in and out of settings, I just have to make sure that my fingers are very precise because the screen icons are so teeny tiny. But also, one thing I don't quite understand is why the buttons on the back are so small. They are so teeny tiny, I literally have to press them with my nail to turn things on and off. I just think the buttons could have been a little bit bigger. I don't know why they needed to be that tiny, and that's saying something for me because I have super tiny hands. Overall, I guess that's a trade-off because everything is so small. That's why the whole camera is so small, and it does fit in my hand and I feel very comfortable holding it. I didn't feel self-conscious at all holding this camera. I don't think anyone noticed I was vlogging except for one gentleman, and it's only because he walked past the camera while it was recording. One thing that cannot be argued is that the battery life for this is crap. It probably only lasted with me filming for about 20 or 30 minutes. This does not last at all. So I did need to bring a power bank with me. And in terms of charging, it didn't take too long, but to fully charge this again probably would have taken another 10-20 minutes. The battery life of this camera is not great at all. And it also does overheat quite easily. I found even when I wasn't vlogging consistently, just turning it on and off did overheat the battery, and the warning sign kept coming up. But I think that's also because I was filming in 4K. So I think if the settings were adjusted, it might have performed better, but overall it did get hot and did warn me that it was going to turn off many times today. Hey guys, I'm just currently editing this vlog and I wanted to jump back on here and just add a couple more points around the battery life. It definitely does not perform very well at all. So this is definitely not designed to be an all-round camera for like a sit-down filming video. This will shut off after about 15-20 minutes or so. But despite all that, it has been a couple of weeks now since I filmed the actual vlog, and I still find myself reaching for this camera. And I think it's partly because it is so durable. I don't have to baby it at all. I will just pop this in my handbag without really thinking about it. Whereas something like the DJI Pocket 3, I have to be very careful because the gimbal is quite fragile. But sometimes because it is so durable, I actually find that this little pop slot here where the memory card goes in and out just happens to like pop out quite easily. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like goes in with like a little click, but if that bumps or something, then it just comes out. And whenever that little memory slot cover comes out, then it will tell me that there's no memory card. So it's not even like the memory card is in there. The cover has to actually be on there for the camera to read the memory card. So that is something that's a little bit annoying about this camera. I mean, the build is not amazing. I've just tried to put it back in there and it popped out. The build is not amazing, and I do have to find myself checking whether the cover is on there just so that the camera is actually working. But despite all that, I have been using this quite a bit, which hopefully you will see in a couple of vlogs to come after this one. Some final thoughts. Is this the best camera for shy vloggers or beginner vloggers? If I'm just thinking about quality, then no. I would definitely prefer the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 or even an iPhone. The quality is just far more superior on those cameras. If I'm thinking about just as an investment, then still probably no. I would definitely choose the Sony ZV-1 camera or the Sony ZV-E10, which is what I'm filming on now, as a preferred camera over this one. But I also feel that some camera reviews are really harsh and it's really hard to compare apples and oranges. There is truly no such thing as the perfect camera. Every camera will perform better in different situations and each camera also has their drawbacks. For me, what I like about this camera is the fact that it is so small, so compact. I think the Canon Powershot V10 is a great option for shy vloggers, especially when you don't want to be seen holding a camera. I don't think this could completely replace my current vlogging cameras. I do really love the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, but I think it is a good addition for times where I just need to vlog and run, and this will definitely be living in my handbag, so there will be no excuse not to vlog and just help me get better at vlogging and telling stories. The best way I can describe this camera is kind of like my handbag collection. I have a couple of really nice designer handbags, but I also have some ones that I use every day which I can just take with me everywhere. And so I'm hoping this is like one of my more affordable and durable cameras that I can just use every day. I hope you enjoyed this little vlog with the Canon Powershot V10 as well as some of my first impressions. Thank you so much for hanging out and I will catch you in the next vlog. Bye guys.